The effectivity of the different learning platforms used in the delivery of learning all depends upon the diligence and the commitment of a teacher. The pandemic situation that we are in imposes a lot of challenges on the part of the teacher and students as well. But as we can see, 2 academic years have passed and we were able to cross the line, though how hard it may have been. We at the ESP department supports the DepEd mantra that learning has to go on and must continue even if it can't happen face-to-face. Today, ESP Unit proudly presents our completed accomplishments for 2021. The load becomes lighter when shared with friends, as the saying goes. The INHS community, where the ESP unit is part of, supports all programs and concerns pertaining to cleanliness and greening of all the INHS areas of responsibility through the Brigada Eskwela program. The ESP unit is composed of hard-working teachers ready to share what they have, especially when it comes beneficial to the learners. We believe that a clean, orderly, and green environment adds to a better working output. Though face-to-face learning is not possible at this time, the ESP unit responsibly upkeeps the areas and rooms assigned for each teacher. Highlights of accomplishment to this program are the following. The ESP area and classrooms are well maintained and classroom structuring is in progress. The INHS surroundings were made ready for visitors for the regional Brigada evaluation. All educators right now are in an unpredictable situation. Transitioning to online instructions in such a short period of time is really hard, especially to teachers who are not technically knowledgeable. It's like groping in darkness. For us teachers, the shift to online education has meant rethinking lesson plans to fit a very different format, the synchronous and the asynchronous way of teaching. You sort of have to redo all the curriculum so you can teach it online, because a lot of it has to depend on you being the leader and the motivator of the new learning platform. But teachers as we are, we at the ESP unit are able to reconfigure most of the teaching strategies for our learners, and we always do it the best way we can. The highlights to the instructional supervision and implementation of Instructional Competencies Program are the following. Teachers were able to prepare and create instructional materials, video lesson presentations, and RBI lessons for the students that added perk to their interest to learn. Students and parents reach out to teachers through messenger, text messages, and phone calls. Teachers submitted reports on time, observing the SMART and WATCH processes. The desired marks for each curriculum is achieved as shown during walkthroughs and class observations. Each ESP teacher advisor was able to comply as to the timeliness of reports required from the curriculum. The Barkada Contra Droga Club, under the umbrella of the ESP unit, is the arm of the department in attaining desired programs to reach out to the student body relative to the accomplishments of the program of the school. It is also an avenue to create projects desirable for the students' needs. Highlights of activities for the Barkada Contra Droga Club are as follows. The BKD Club provides learners an avenue where they can express the importance of Filipino values as an ideal in treating others with dignity, being members of the BKD Club. The club was able to elect new set of officers for school year 2021-2022 through online voting. The desired tangible project of the club is to come up with a wash area within the ESP vicinity in support to the COVID-19 prevention. As the school launches its different learning modalities, the modular and online platforms combined, the ESP department deemed it important to take another mile in reaching out to the learners, their parents, and other stakeholders by personally bringing the learning kits to the Cluster 8 barangays last November 12, 2021. The 9 diligent teachers of the Edukasyon's Pagpapakatao Unit traveled to the far-flung Cluster 8 barangays, namely Namnama, Cabecera 8, 22, 25, 27, Salindingan, Sindun Bayabo, Sindun Maride, Santa Maria, and Paliweg, City of Ilagan, Isabela. The ESP team enthusiastically presented to parents the 31 pieces of new transistor radios given to learners of the Cluster 8 barangays as part of the learning modality they can use in learning by turning in to INH's on-air 103.5 FM radio. Barangay officials were very cooperative in giving assistance as they have coordinated with the parents and learners earlier as they were informed of the module and radio transistor delivery. This activity facilitated learning continuity among the ESP learners and gave inspiration to ESP teachers to serve the learners more. There may have been major challenges in the teaching and learning processes affecting adjustments and development of the ESP learners along the way, but the diligent ESP teachers will always find ways to bridge the gap. As part of the ESP Filipino Values Month celebration, the ESP unit, in partnership with the Guidance and Counseling Department, conducted a webinar on parenting skills amidst the pandemic, live-streamed over FB, and was simultaneously aired through the INHS RBI. The goal of this webinar was to encourage parents from the junior high school to be flexible and adaptable in raising their children using some positive techniques as presented in the session. Discussions on the important skills to be developed among parents in rearing and raising their children at this time of pandemic were presented. This gave parents some inspiration on the importance of their task in raising responsible and accountable individuals as partners with God in accomplishing His divine purposes over the lives of their children. The parenting webinar was successfully conducted as proven by the sent-in comments from parent participants during the activity. And it is noteworthy to say that the parenting webinar was the first webinar activity of the INHs conducted on air. One major part of learning is to develop and impart among learners the values they need to learn as they face challenges in life. It is upon this objective that the 2021 National Observance of the Filipino Values Month is celebrated, the observance of which aims to celebrate each one's triumph in overcoming the trials that each one may have experienced and create an avenue to rejoice in our own very unique way as Filipinos. As part of the celebration, learners were encouraged to submit originally composed poetry and essays, create slogans and posters relative to the theme, pagpapaunlad ng pagkatao, pakikipagkapwa at pananampalataya, hamon sa panahon ng pandemya. Highlights to the observance of the INH's school-based celebration of the Filipino Values Month has indeed revitalized the practice of the Filipino values among the learners and teachers as well. The activities presented are to be commended as avenues to reinforce the importance of the Filipino values as a platform for an effective and sustainable practice in teaching values education. Behind the successful learners are great educators tested by time and honed by remarkable experiences. One strategy to accomplish this is through the conduct of learning action cell sessions. The implementation of Republic Act No. 10533 or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, DepEd issues the enclosed policy on the Learning Action Cell as a K-12 basic education program-based continuing professional development strategy for the improvement of teaching and learning is thus a necessity. In line with this, the ESP unit laboriously conducted lax sessions which became avenues to new learnings and deeper commitment to our chosen field. One of the most significant and most celebrated project of the ESP unit is the Project ESPOY, Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao Office Improvement. It is believed that the most important aspect of having a good office environment is overall employee morale. The office environment serves as the face of the department it represents. Hence, to encourage productivity and confidence in the ESP workplace, it is important to start it within the four corners of the office first. Having a supportive office culture allows bonds to grow between co-workers, making it a conducive place where the employees would want to stay. Project ESPOY has been conceptualized by the newly appointed department head of the ESP unit in collaboration and with the approval of the principal, accounting, and supply offices, and with the solicited partnership of some supportive stakeholders. We at the ESP unit believe that this is just the start of a new beginning. We are committed to be united to continue building this renowned institution, the Isabela National High School, in producing quality learners, responsible and accountable individuals, sharpened by perplexity and strengthened by the challenges of our time. Our ways forward as a department is to consider in the approach to this new normal to be positive and hopeful, though how bleak the future may seem. We will be one in supporting the plans and programs of our DepEd as we approach this period of the new normal with patriotism, compassion, and sensitivity so that the process of learning will not be burdensome but will give a ray of hope amidst the crisis. We continue to uphold the newfound purpose of our calling as educators to strike the balance of quality education but not neglecting the safety needs of our members.